everyone. My name is Nicole, and this is my YouTube channel. Basically, what we're doing here is we are going to look at self-care in all its different forms, how it works, what we can do to take care of ourselves. I have a few self-care rituals that I do, that I practice, and it's either a daily practice, I have a weekly practice, and I have a monthly practice, things that I do at different times of the month, at different times of the day, at different times of the week. So one of the things that and in today's episode, okay, this is all very new to me, but it's by time because I've been thinking about doing this for years. One of the things that I do, or a few of the things that I do, is I meditate, and I meditate daily, right? So that's one of the rituals that I do daily. I feel like it's important that when we decide on a self-care plan, that we make sure that it suits sort of our how we operate on a daily basis. So it needs to fall in with when we start any kind of habit, something that we want to become a habit. It's important that we try and make that as sustainable as possible. I don't believe in starting things that we can't sustain. So even this channel, I'm really hoping and I believe that it is something that I am going to sustain. So the idea behind the channel is to create a space where we can talk about self-care, where I can share some of my self-care practices with you guys. Some of the rituals that I do, things that I do to, keep me going and to make sure that I'm okay, and also to be able to tap into source and to tap into my higher self. Some of the things that I practice and the things that I do. So just on a normal day, I wake up, and what we need to remember is that there's a time in the morning, it's almost like a reset button. So when you go to sleep at night, you've got all these things that you're thinking about and dealing with and sitting with. And when you go to bed at night, you sort of try and let go of some of those things. And when you wake up in the morning, it's like a reset button. It's like you get to start over again. It's important then that we take that time in the morning to gather ourselves and to to help us focus on what we need to be focusing on. So what I really try to do is harness that first thing in the morning energy. A lot of the times, and I mean, I'm definitely guilty of this, is I'd wake up in the morning and the first thing I would do is check Twitter or check social media, check Instagram. And while this is okay, I mean, I don't know if it is okay. It usually just disrupts your energy, because invariably you get onto Twitter, you'll see something about, something terrible that happened to somebody, or you'll see someone just acting a fool, saying something silly or whatever, and now your energy is, having to talk to this person and call them out or whatever the case may be. And so I find it important in the first thing in the morning is to meditate and to set my intentions for the day. To light some incense. I usually burn people, but I've run out. I need to go and get some. And I burn, whatever it is that I'm burning. I take a few deep breaths and I start meditating. So my meditation, I used to use apps, and I still kind of do use guided meditation. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. And I would, sit down, put myself in a comfortable position, seated or lying down. Take deep conscious breaths in and out, and follow my breath in and out. And sort of try and get myself into that meditative space. And when I always encourage everyone to do meditation. I think it's brilliant. It's amazing. It's a wonderful way for us to deal with the stress and the shit that's happening in our lives. And to be able to manage, stress and stuff. Ooh, it's getting a bit hectic. Okay. So it's difficult sometimes to manage all of the things that's happening in our lives. So I think the meditation is important to help us focus and to help us deal with the things in a more positive way. So meditation, when you start doing it, it really doesn't. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult actually. People expect to go in and be an expert the first time that they ever tried, but I mean, that's impossible because, that's not going to happen for anybody for anything. Like, there's nothing that you can possibly start and then just become the best at it. So it's a process. It takes a long time, and we need to be patient with ourselves. There's no point in trying to meditate, but you're being impatient and getting frustrated. So as you're sitting there breathing in and taking in those deep breaths, it's important to remember that your mind will wander. That you definitely, like, a thought will come into your mind, and then your mind will go along with that thought. It's important to know that that will happen, and that you're a human being and we have a lot of thoughts. But it's important to also remember that you can just bring it back to your breath. And every time it wanders, just bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Um, so, yeah, I mean, there's lots of benefits. And over the next few videos or whatever, I'm sure I will talk a lot about the benefits of meditation, because it's really changed my life. For me, I believe in the power of manifestation. I believe in the laws of attraction, and using meditation as a tool to calm my mind, to connect with source, to connect with my higher self has been invaluable. It's like it's a big part of my manifestation process, which I'll also do a video on exactly how I manifest, and different methods and things that I use for manifestation. So, okay. So the one thing that I do, as I said, on a daily basis is meditate. And I do use various apps, but I also just sit by myself. So you basically just sit in a comfortable position. You can put your hands somewhere comfortable on your lap. You can put it open. Sometimes they say opening up your hands like this is better, because it sort of connects you to the source out there. And I usually sit like this with my hands on my legs, and I'll take 3 deep breaths. And once I've done that, in fact, after the first breath, you already feel yourself feeling lighter. Um, and if your mind wanders, let it wander, bring it back. And be patient with yourself. This is not an overnight thing. You're not going to be a master meditator in a matter of hours, minutes, days. It takes a long time to get into it, where you feel like after you've meditated, you feel like, okay, there's some powerful shifting that just happened. It's important that you are patient. Um, and even if you manage to be in that meditative space for only 2 minutes out of the 15 minutes that you were meditating, that's still 2 minutes of tapping into source energy that you wouldn't have had before. And every minute that we're tapping into source energy, and every minute that we're tapping into our higher selves, or being there with our higher selves, um, is one step closer for us to manifesting whatever it is that we want, and also just living the life, consciously and abundantly. Um, so one of the things that I do every morning is I meditate. Another thing that I do on a daily basis to manage stress when I'm feeling anxious. Now, I used to work in advertising. Well, I still do, but I used to work full time in advertising. Now, anyone who knows anything about advertising knows that it's a highly stressful environment. It is extremely, like, people, everyone in ad